Hey, practice owners, we're at part 7 of 8 of our 2026 marketing series. And if you haven't watched the previous videos, again, I strongly encourage you to. We are giving away in this series all of our marketing strategies from branding, positioning, winning in a competitive environment, discount strategies, how to gain confidence in your ROI metrics, our top performing ads and offers on Facebook, Instagram, and Google, SEO tactics that have helped our clients get featured in sites like Forbes, GQ, Real Simple, and Elle Magazine. And today we're going to be talking about how to achieve omnipresence for your brand. So, in addition to running ads, how do we create magnetism so people are actually seeking us out and specifically wanting to do business with us from the get-go? Let's talk about some ways to accomplish that. As a reminder, as we coach our clients, this is how we build our service programs as an agency, but this is how we also coach in the series. We talk about taking these things in prioritized order. Facebook and Instagram ads and boosted reels first for most med spas. Google ads is the priority 2, SEO 3, and then some of these omnipresent strategies as priority 4. So if we're maxing out and we feel like we're hitting a cap, so this is where we get to with some of our bigger clients, some of our multi-location big med spas, is they always want to know what else they could be doing, right? They want more. We're spending aggressively on Google. We're spending aggressively on Facebook and Instagram ads. We're probably hitting a little bit of a ceiling with our reach and our exposure on those platforms. What can we do to achieve greater omnipresence to continue to ramp up client acquisition? So the first thing I want to revisit from earlier in the presentation is the idea of know, like, and trust deposits. If you're not doing this, I think this is a huge miss. I think this is a must-have as we head into 2026. One of the best ways to stand out is to develop content via social media that builds rapport and depth with your local market so that people not only know that you might have a cool introductory offer for new clients, but they also see tidbits of information from your business and your providers that build on the idea that you really are the best place to get these services. If I'm thinking about visiting a med spa or changing providers, or I'm new to the area, I've seen so much overwhelming evidence via the content that you've put out on social media that it feels like a no-brainer. So we're doing this in 2026 for our brand, and I encourage our clients to do the same. And I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks here on how to make this maximally effective. So we call these know, like, and trust deposits. And this is the idea of essentially being really intentional about your organic social media content and then putting ad dollars behind it so that you're saturating the local market with continuous additional pieces of your marketing message. So they're just always seeing something new from your business and your brand. So in this case, this is a reel of me walking around our downtown here where I live and filming. And I'm talking about how, as a med spa, you're probably seeing ads all the time from med spa marketing agencies, everybody claiming they've cracked the secret code or they have some secret method that works that nobody else understands. And I'm kind of calling BS on it as a marketing agency. And the reel, I'll explain how the reel works in a second. But this framework does a few things. It captures the attention of your audience by generating intrigue with a good hook. It delivers a compelling and interesting perspective. So the content that I'm putting out here is not something you've heard 10 other people say. It's going to be something that's kind of unique. It's a unique perspective and a unique angle. Those types of things tend to do really well in terms of generating engagement and views. So the inspiration behind some of these frameworks is a page called Personal Brand Launch. I shared that earlier. If you go to Personal Brand Launch, you can get some ideas on how to develop hooks in social media content that accomplish that goal. But I'm going to give you a couple tidbits here that I think are really helpful in how to do this effectively, especially with reels. The first thing is with your hook, the basic call out is overdone. So for marketing agencies, for example, what you see them do is they want to try to call out med spa owners first, so you know that we're talking to you in the ad. So a lot of the ads start like this: med spa owners, and then they go into some sort of marketing message. My contention is that that's so overdone that people actually have tuned you out after the first second and a half because they've heard so many people yell into the camera, med spa owners. And what it does is it just signals, hey, this is someone trying to sell me something, right? This is someone trying to pitch me something, sell me something, because this is how every one of those pitches start. So if you can do something that's a little bit more nuanced, I think your hooks are going to be more effective. This is an example with our new framework that got a 2,000% more engagement and views than our typical reel. And I think that the carefully crafted hook is a big part of that. So, yes, I'm going to call out my target audience in the hook, but I'm going to do it embedded in the hot take. So, in this case, it's most med spa marketing agencies. Most med spa marketing agencies claim they have a secret code, right? So, I'm actually saying something substantial while also embedding the call out to the med spas in the hook. So, for you, there could be different versions of that, right? Like using your town, but instead of just saying, ladies in Nashville, Tennessee, listen up, and then going into the pitch, saying, here's what most Nashville ladies don't know when they go to get a Botox appointment. Embedding an interesting hook in the call out together, I think, is much better than just doing the call out and then trying to go into the marketing message secondarily. And then the meat of the reel needs to be different. You have to say something that is eye-opening or controversial or nuanced that they haven't heard 75 other places. So if you're just regurgitating, basic 101 level information that doesn't really compel your prospect to trust you at a deeper level, it's not going to be effective. So this type of content, really effective, I think, for developing rapport and depth and saturation with your market, and then using ad dollars behind this organic social media content to reach the local market at scale. That's another really good way to increase the level of omnipresence you have with your med spa amongst the local market. Hey, practice owners and marketing directors, interrupting this episode to invite you to schedule a one-on-one strategy call with me to discuss how we might be able to improve and level up your digital marketing efforts. So we're rated 5 stars on Google. We're HIPAA verified by Compliancy Group, and we have a track record of taking clients from $30,000 a month to $120,000 a month and adding multi-millions of dollars in additional revenue for some of our bigger multi-location med spas from more effective marketing strategies. So on the free strategy call, it's really educational. I basically spend an hour going through detailed reviews of all of our best performing plays that we run for our clients. You have it to take and run with it if that's what you want to do. And if you think it might be a fit to work together, then we're excited about the possibility to partner with you. But if you're interested in better, more effective digital marketing solutions for your med spa, visit medspamagicmarketing.com. That's medspamagicmarketing.com to schedule your one-on-one strategy call with me. So let's go into some other specific ideas here. Idea number 1, influencer marketing. So that last one, I'm not putting it as number 1 here for a reason, because that was more of a layer on stuff we've already talked about. But let's go into omnipresence beyond Facebook and Instagram. Number 1 is influencer marketing. Do you have local micro celebrities or influences that have a legit engaged following that you can make deals with for free service or some sort of promotional incentive to get them to send business your way and to promote your brand? Is it someone that people in your local market look up to and admire? Do they not just have a following, but do they have the trust of the local market? Or do they actually have influence, right? An influencer is not an influencer because they have followers. An influencer is an influencer because the things that they say carry weight and can cause others to take action. So keep that in mind as you look for opportunities to engage with local celebrities or micro influencers. Idea number 2 to achieve omnipresence, owned media. One of our clients on the West Coast, they have their own podcast. If you're into this type of stuff, like if you're into health and beauty in the med spa space and you get interesting, compelling, long form content from your local med spa, that's a pretty great way to build depth, awareness, and retention, right? Awesome strategy. YouTube shows, same thing. If you can localize these, that's even better. At the very least, you need to promote them locally, because the content you're talking about, it might be relevant to someone who lives halfway across the country. So if your discovery mechanism is attracting non-local people, it doesn't map to clients. So make sure that if you're going to do this, you're promoting it to the local audience. And then the last one here, local print publications or newsletters. Could you be the brand behind the local coupon book, a specific newsletter that goes around your town, a magazine? You can own the media. This is what content marketing is at its core is all about. With advertising, we're typically paying to get our marketing message embedded in someone else's owned media. But what if we owned the media ourselves and then we're able to embed our own marketing message as we saw fit? Number 3, every door direct mail. For those of you who haven't experimented with this, I think this is a great way to achieve omnipresence. Not only now do people log in and see your ad on Facebook and Instagram, they drive past the storefront, they're also getting your direct mail piece. These are additional things that can incentivize action and create omnipresence. So every door direct mail with a carefully crafted promotion to get people in the door for their first visit or for a repeat visit can be really effective. One of the first things I did in my marketing journey 15 years ago for an agency was doing direct mail. So I think that still has its place for sure. Radio and TV, you have connected TV and the ability to localize this and tailor this more than we ever have. Local radio, you can find interesting buys for local radio ads sometimes. And these are especially great for services where you run into policy issues like hormones, testosterone, especially if you can tailor it to a specific audience. AM talk radio, a heavily male, affluent, older audience, probably pretty good if you're selling hormone therapy, erectile dysfunction treatments, things of that nature. Next, print. There's a time and a place for print. And I'm going to use Gary Vaynerchuk's example about the Super Bowl to kind of explain my thoughts on print. So if you're going to do print, I would argue you want to go all out. Don't buy a quarter page buried 7 pages into the magazine. Buy the back cover or buy the first giant full page ad, because I think that the price difference actually creates an even more outsized advantage. So you might pay 5 times more for that, but I'd be willing to bet the exposure is 10x more. So you're getting more bang for your buck by doing that. Gary Vaynerchuk applies this to Super Bowl ads. It's the most expensive form of a TV ad, but he talks about it being one of the best steals in the market because people are actually paying attention, right? Attention matters. The first thing that matters in the old ADA acronym: attention, interest, desire, action. So if we're going to do print, I would recommend going all out and getting prime placement so that you guarantee exposure at scale. Idea number 6, TikTok ads. I have it buried so low below the other social platforms because we have not found it to be very effective, but that might be a subjective take to have that so low on the idea chart here. But TikTok ads can be good, especially for brand awareness and exposure. They just haven't been effective for us to this point in terms of directly measurable customer acquisition. And there are a few inherent reasons, but TikTok's still a good place to spend dollars because guess what? The eyeballs are there. So I think that's a good place to spend dollars, especially from a know, like, and trust deposits or branding perspective. Number 7, sponsorships. Could you sponsor a local meetup that aligns with your target demographic? We had a client in Denver. We got them to be the official med spa, I think they're the official sponsor of the Denver Women's Collective or something like that at the time that we helped set that up. But a really cool way to embed yourself with a targeted group of people in your local community to develop relationships that go a little bit deeper than surface level advertising, right? Those associations help bring in business. Local events that align with your target demo. Is it just like a run, a 5K, a women's networking group? Are there local teams and youth sports that you can get involved with and sponsor? Really good ways to embed yourself and create favorability. Guerrilla marketing. This is a fun one because my recommendation when it comes to the guerrilla marketing checkbox is just go, as you're going among your business around your town, keep your eyes open to the places that you see advertisements. So like in a men's room, we have literally advertisements over the urinals. On the menus at some of your local sports bars, there's ads on the sports bars, on the coasters, on the bar tops. Golf courses have ads in the bottom of the scorecards. So there are all sorts of creative ways to reach your target demo in your local market. So keep your eyes open as you go around your community for these types of opportunities, because guerrilla marketing can be a really cost-effective way to get in front of people, at a pretty low cost typically for a long period of time. If you're on that scorecard, it's probably going to be a long time that you're still hanging around those scorecards, those bar menus. Cool. All right. So those are some ideas for achieving omnipresence. If you have additional ideas, please throw those in the comments below. We'd love to hear them, but that's a good way for you more established med spas to go beyond digital advertising so that everyone in your community really starts to develop those elements of know, like, and trust. If you want help with this or any other digital marketing strategies for your med spa, you can visit medspamagicmarketing.com. On these free strategy sessions, I just go through an in-depth condensed version of a coaching consulting call. You are free to take that advice and run with it, or we can implement for you and be your marketing service provider, but I'm confident it'll be super valuable nonetheless. So you can schedule that with me by going to medspamagicmarketing.com, and we'll see you on part 8.